Three of the things that I always tell you about with gold prices and for gold are all coming together right now. And they're all going to be a wind in the sails of gold prices. One of them is that I always say, get involved with the thing that is the most unloved in the asset world. The most unloved asset usually has not a lot of money in that asset. And when that money returns, it usually pushes the prices up much higher. And nothing is more unloved than gold mining stocks right now. Even as gold makes new all-time highs, even as there's all this momentum and strength in gold prices, you're still not seeing the pickup in gold mining stocks that we should see or that is called for in this environment. I always tell you that when the price of gold goes up 10%, the profits, the operating profits of the gold mining companies will balloon by a lot more than 10%. And that's why a good 10% move in the price of gold is going to lead to 20, 40, 50% moves in a lot of the gold mining stocks. Even more importantly, I always tell you that you can tell when it's a market top or bottom, when you suddenly see the volatility day to day increasing. When all of a sudden you're seeing these huge wild swings in gold prices, that's indicating that we're either at a market top or a market bottom. Everything I'm looking at, and we'll get into that in this video, is saying that we are certainly at a market bottom from this price. It's establishing a new support range, and it's going to go a lot higher from this point going forward, taking all the gold mining stocks with it, of course. And if you've taken the Peter Leeds candlestick trading chart course, you're going to know that one of the things we look for is indecision among investors. When all of a sudden investors are not quite certain about which way the stock's going to go, you can tell that on the trading charts. And when it's having a little bit of unnatural weakness, I'll call it, and all of a sudden there's some more indecision, as we're seeing now, that usually implies that we're about to turn the corner and go to much higher prices as well. I'm going to get into some specifics about the actual things going on with gold, a lot of things that are happening that are leading to the fact that this is going to be one of the single best trades of the rest of this year and 2024. Not talking about gold specifically, I'm talking about the mining companies. Gold has had a great year. The mining companies, not so much. We're going to get into that a bit in this video too. But the mining companies are going to be the ones that are going to really start benefiting and gaining as a lot more focus comes back to the gold sector because the price of gold keeps on going higher. Here's a chart of gold prices from CNBC, and I'll indicate on the chart, you can see where I'm talking about where the volatility is increasing, the day-to-day trades. We're looking at it instead of going up or down $5 or $10. Gold prices spiked $30. It dropped $30. And all of a sudden this volatility is getting greater. This is indicating that we're about to roll into a trend of higher prices, in my opinion. It could also indicate that it's going to be a trend of lower prices. I don't see it happening that way in this particular environment based on everything I'm about to tell you in this video. And you know that I put my money where my mouth is. I have been heavily invested in gold-related investments and stocks for quite some time now, physical metals too. And I've been talking about it, and congratulations to anybody who actually is listening to what I've been saying, because now you're sitting pretty, especially if you're involved in any of these gold mining stocks. What I'd like to do is, I just recently put out the latest Peter Leeds Army exclusive, the monthly newsletter only for people who are members of the Peter Leeds Army, which is a good way to show your support to get more videos like this and support our team. We're talking about 10 cents a day, $3 a month, then you're an enlistee or an enrollee in the Peter Leeds Army, and you're really helping us do all the work we can do, all the stuff we need to do to tell you guys the best information to your benefit. And I'm not going to read you the whole thing because this Peter Leeds Army exclusive newsletter is only for people who are already members of the Peter Leeds Army. But I'm going to call out a couple of lines I mentioned in the latest Army exclusive newsletter because it's going to really show you where I'm at with what I'm thinking about all this gold mining investing strategy and how it's going to work out. We are now only finally seeing the payoff from all the patience. As you know, I was very early, but gold prices have finally broken higher. And this next part is the really valuable part, the really important part. I wanted you to see my philosophy on this because having been seeing this moment approaching for several years and watching all the bullish winds continually building, it gives me a very high confidence that the move in precious metals is only just getting started. And I'll show you that chart of gold again, and you can see the points of volatility that I see is increasing. There's areas of regular conventional volatility, but then once in a while things start bouncing around a little bit more than typical, and that's when you know a move is building up. Whether for better or worse, a big move is building. Something is happening now. Now comes the really fun part, as we'll see the prices of gold and gold mining and silver mining shares breaking out of their absolutely unloved situation. As you've heard me say several times, a great and effective investment strategy is to buy whatever asset class is the most unloved and or overlooked, which in this case right now is embodied by nearly every precious metals mining stock in a big way. And just before I get into some of the trends I was pointing out that are telling me that gold prices are going to go a lot higher, I just want to mention this part too. Once gold, and by extension the mining stocks, continue their climb, it will become more difficult to keep ignoring the precious metals complex. Institutional investors will return to the largest mining stocks, and money flows to the entire space will rise and add even more momentum to the upward drive. Gold trends, global central bank buying demand that I've shown you on YouTube videos all the time, resource depletion, resource scarcity, and I'm talking about the easily mined resources close to the surface, really high grades of gold within the rock. Industry consolidation, asset class awareness, monetary creation, money flows are going to be good and bullish for gold. Money's coming back into space, especially among institutional investors. And everything else I look at too, it's all telling the same story. That story is a wildly bullish push for gold prices. Then I go on to talk about how the US dollar is also going to decline significantly, and that's only going to add steroids to the move that we're seeing in gold prices. Patience has finally started paying off. Do not jump at the first profits you see, even if that involves some pretty significant gains, because the final destination is certainly going to be much higher than you are likely realizing yet. To summarize, all this building up is telling you that, and it's agreeing with me, that I believe going into the rest of this year and then 2024 is going to be the year for gold mining stocks. Tammy just arrived at the perfect time. Hey Tammy, wave to the people on YouTube. I don't know if she wants to be on camera. I love you guys. You're the best. Say hi, Tammy. Give a wave. I think I saw her. All right. You guys are awesome. I'll talk to you next time. Thank you so much.
Hi, Tammy. Thanks so much for the excellent service you and the team provide. I'm a super happy customer. So I decided to reorder the candlestick course as well. You guys provide such a great service. I want to support as much as possible. Sean Matwich.